You closed your eyes to pray, and you meant to say the right words. You tried to start strong. You tried to sound faithful, but the sentence broke in your mouth, and the tears finished it for you. The room got so quiet that the silence felt louder than anything you could whisper, and you wondered if heaven went quiet too. You sat there with wet cheeks and a trembling breath, and part of you felt embarrassed because you came to talk to me, but all you could do was cry. Listen to me, my beloved. When your words disappear and tears remain, you are not abandoned, you are being met. Those tears are not proof that you are failing spiritually. They are often the language of a heart that has reached the end of self and the beginning of surrender. You call it falling apart, but I call it finally safe. You call it, I can't get it together, but I call it come closer. You did not lose me in that moment. You found me. There is a reason you are hearing this now, at this exact time, in this exact season, because I am meeting you in the very place you thought disqualified you. You thought, if I was stronger, I wouldn't be undone like this. You thought, if I had more faith, I wouldn't be crying again. But I am not repelled by your tears. I am not intimidated by your weakness. I am not annoyed by your emotion. I am the one who formed your heart, and I know what it holds, even when you cannot carry it into words. Maybe you assumed I was distant because you felt undone. Maybe you measured my presence by how composed you could stay. But I do not come close only when you are polished. I come close when you are honest. I come close when you are weary. I come close when your voice shakes and your chest tightens and you do not know how to explain what hurts. That moment you thought was failure was a doorway. That breakdown you tried to hide was an invitation. And even when you could not finish the sentence, I still heard you. So stay with me until the end, because I am going to lead you into a guided prayer and declarations that will steady your mind and strengthen your spirit. And if you want daily covering prayers for peace, healing, and closeness with me, then subscribe and come back again, because I am teaching you how to live from my presence, not from your panic. You are not too much, you are not alone, and you are not praying into emptiness. Even now, I am here and I am listening. Fear has been whispering to you while you cry. Fear says, look at you, you're weak, you're unstable, you're not strong enough to handle your own life. Fear says, if you had faith, you wouldn't feel this. Fear says, if you were mature, you would be composed. And then fear tries to turn your tears into evidence against you, like a courtroom where your emotions are the prosecutor and your shame is the judge. But listen to me, my beloved. Fear is not your shepherd. Fear is not your teacher. Fear is not the voice of truth. I do not call your tears weakness. I call them intercession. I call them release. I call them the moment the pressure finally stops living in your chest and starts leaving your body. Because what you have been carrying has been heavier than you admitted, and you have been trying to survive with a smile while your soul has been asking for air. The battlefield is not your personality. It is not that you are too emotional. It is that you have been under strain, quiet strain, private strain, the kind of strain that makes you overthink every word, replay every moment, and brace for the next disappointment before it even arrives. And when you come to pray, fear wants you to perform. Fear wants you to stay in control. Fear wants you to keep the mask on. But when the tears come, it is often because control is loosening and the burden is finally being placed into my hands. Not shame, but surrender. Not collapse, but cleansing. Not distance, but drawing near. Those tears are not you failing. Those tears are you yielding. Those tears are truth surfacing after years of forcing yourself to be fine. Those tears are warfare, because the enemy cannot manipulate what you are finally giving to me. The moment you cry, in my presence, is often the moment you stop partnering with condemnation and you start partnering with healing. So take a slow breath right now, breathe in, and let your shoulders drop, unclench your jaw, loosen your hands. You don't have to hold yourself together in front of me. You don't have to keep tightening your body around pain you cannot fix. Let that tightness go, because I am here. And as you release what you've been gripping, I am receiving what you've been carrying. Even now, while you listen, I am moving in places you cannot see, softening what was hard, opening what was stuck, quieting what was loud, and lifting what has been sitting on you like a weight. Even now, I am teaching your heart that safety is real. Even now, I am turning your tears into prayer, and your prayer into movement, and your movement into breakthrough. Do not be afraid of what you feel. You are not being swallowed, you are being freed. Now I anchor what you have been feeling in my word, so your heart will stop calling it failure. Romans 8:26 says, "Likewise the Spirit also helps in our weaknesses, for we do not know what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered." Do you hear me, my beloved? I did not write that to shame you. I wrote that to cover you. I did not say, when you don't know what to pray, you are disqualified. I said, when you don't know what to pray, I help you. I intercede. I carry you. So when you come to me and your mind is spinning, and your chest is tight, and you try to form the sentence but it collapses into tears, stop calling that the moment you failed at prayer. That is often the moment you entered a deeper kind of prayer. That is not you being too weak to speak. That is you being honest enough to stop performing. Fear wanted you polished. Shame wanted you silent. But my Spirit is not waiting for you to be eloquent. My Spirit is moving the moment you are willing. Because I understand every tear. I interpret every tremble. I catch every broken syllable. I do not only hear language, I hear longing. I do not only hear words, I hear weight. I do not only listen to what you can explain, I listen to what you have been carrying. And when you cannot organize the pain into paragraphs, the Holy Spirit prays through you. Groanings, too deep for words, means there is a prayer happening in you that is deeper than vocabulary, deeper than personality, deeper than what you can manage with your own strength. And I need you to let the guilt fall off right now. Your tears are not a report card of your faith. Your tears are not proof that you still don't get it. Your tears are not me standing far away with crossed arms. Often, they are the evidence that your heart finally feels safe enough to tell the truth in my presence. You have been strong for everyone else. You have been composed in rooms where you were crumbling inside. But when you come to me, you do not have to earn closeness by sounding confident. You are close because I drew near. If I am praying through you, then your tears are not wasted, they are directed, not random, but rooted, not spilling into emptiness, but poured into intercession. Heaven is not confused by your wordlessness. Heaven responds to my Spirit. Heaven moves at my authority. And even now, while your cheeks are wet and your voice is shaking, I am translating what you cannot say into a prayer that reaches exactly where it needs to reach. Now hear what my word has already said about the moment you break. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit, not near to the ones who never feel. Not near only to the ones who can keep their voice from shaking. Near to the brokenhearted, near to the crushed, near to the part of you you keep hidden because you were taught to be strong instead of honest. You have been thinking your tears are evidence that you are drifting from me, but I am telling you the truth. Your tears often rise because I have drawn close. You have been brave in public and bleeding in private. You have been the one who holds everything together, the one who checks on everyone else, the one who shows up, the one who smiles, the one who says, "I'm fine," while your soul has been swallowing words for years. And because you have had to survive, you learn to numb. You learn to delay your own grief. You learn to keep moving so you wouldn't have to feel. But when you come to pray, you step into shelter. You step into safety. You step into a place where you do not have to audition for love. And that is why what you have been holding back finally starts to thaw. Do not be ashamed of the delay. The tears are not late. They are timed. They are the first sign that your heart is exhaling. They are the first sign that the ice is breaking, that the pressure is lifting, that the true you is coming back out of hiding. You thought, "I'm falling apart," but I say you are finally coming back together in my presence, because I do not crush you with expectations when you are already crushed in spirit. I come close. I steady you. I save you. I do not stand over you. I draw around you. Beloved, when I am near, you feel what you have been numbing, not because I am hurting you, but because I am healing you. A wound that is dead cannot feel, but a wound that is being touched by the healer begins to awaken. And yes, sometimes it stings. Sometimes it floods. Sometimes it comes in waves you did not plan for. But this is not the sign of abandonment. This is the sign of my hand reaching the places you could not reach with your own strength. So let the tears be what they are. Not a collapse, but a cleansing. Not a breakdown, but a thaw. Not distance, but closeness. Stay with me while it comes up. Do not run back to the mask. Do not apologize for being human in front of your Father. I am near to you here. I am near to you now. And because I am near, I do not just witness your tears, I keep them. And now I remind you of something you have not dared to believe when your face was wet and your faith felt small. I do not lose track of you when you lose your words. I do not forget you when you feel forgotten. I do not look away when you finally stop performing. Psalm 56:8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Do you hear me, beloved? I am not guessing about your pain. I am not vaguely aware. I am attentive. I am present. I am counting. I am recording. I am keeping what you thought would spill into nothing. I did not turn away when your words disappeared. I understood every tear. I understood the ones you cried because you were exhausted of being strong. I understood the ones you cried because you were tired of explaining. I understood the ones that came without warning, when you thought you were over it, and then the memory touched a nerve, and your throat tightened, and you felt embarrassed all over again. I understood you when you whispered, 'Help,' and that was the whole prayer. I understood you when you could only breathe and shake and sit in the dark. And I am telling you plainly, every night you cried quietly so no one would hear. I heard you. Every prayer you whispered in the car with your hands on the steering wheel, trying to keep it together before you walked into the building, I heard you. Every moment you pretended you were fine, every smile you used as a shield, every time you said, 'It's okay,' while your heart was not okay, I saw you. Every time you laid down and stared at the ceiling and tried to reason your way into peace, I was there. Every time you wiped your face quickly because you didn't want anyone to ask questions you couldn't answer, I was there. You were not dramatic. You were not too much. You were enduring. Those tears are not evidence that you are losing. They are evidence that you have lasted. They mark the places where you kept walking with a breaking heart. They mark the moments you chose to come to me instead of collapsing into despair. They are witnesses that you did not quit, even when you did not understand. And when life felt absent of answers, I was still present in the process. I was still writing what you could not see. I was still surrounding what you could not control. I was still holding the pieces you thought were slipping through your fingers. So listen carefully. If I keep the tears, I also keep the promise attached to them. If I record the sorrow, I am also recording the rescue. If I count the nights you cried, I am also counting the steps toward your deliverance. None of it is ignored. None of it is wasted. None of it disappears into the floor. You may have felt like nothing was changing, but even then, I was keeping track because I am the God who remembers, the God who returns, the God who restores. And what I have kept, I will redeem. There was a woman in my word named Hannah, and if you have ever cried in prayer and felt ashamed of it, then you already understand her more than you realize. She walked into the house of the Lord carrying a pain that had followed her for years, a grief that sat on her appetite, a longing that tightened her throat, a promise delayed so long it started to feel like a private humiliation. She did not come with a polished speech. She did not come with a performance. She came with a heart so full that the only way it could speak was to pour. And she wept. She wept bitterly. She moved her lips and no sound came out because some prayers are too heavy for volume. And the priest, Eli, looked at her and misunderstood her. He judged what he could not discern. He mistook surrender for disorder. He mistook tears for weakness. He assumed the worst about the very thing that was holy. Do you hear me, beloved? Even in sacred places, people can misread you when they have never carried what you are carrying. They can label your broken sentences and wet cheeks as instability when it is actually intercession. They can call it embarrassing when heaven calls it honest. But I was there. I was not offended by her mess. I was not repelled by her trembling. I was listening to the prayer underneath the tears. Hannah said she was pouring out her soul before me, and that is the turning point. Her weeping was not noise, it was surrender. She was not falling apart in front of me. She was placing her future into my hands. And what looked like breaking in the natural was birthing in the spirit. What looked like shame was sacred. What looked like a woman unraveling was a promise being positioned. Some of you are carrying a promise that has been delayed, and the delay has been pressing on your chest. You have tried to be patient, tried to be grateful, tried to be strong, but there are nights you cannot explain the ache, and there are prayers you cannot finish without tears. And you have wondered if those tears mean you are losing faith. I tell you, Those tears may be the very place where faith becomes real, because when you stop performing and start pouring, you are no longer negotiating with fear, you are surrendering to me. Hannah's private pain did not stay private forever. I turned it into purpose. I turned it into Samuel. I turned it into a testimony that outlived the years she thought had stolen her. What was misunderstood in the moment became undeniable in the outcome. And I am still the same God. I still take what people mislabel, and I mark it with my hand. I still take what feels barren, and I breathe on it. I still take what you thought was embarrassing, and I make it prophetic. So, do not despise the place where you are weeping. Do not partner with condemnation over the very moment you are finally honest. Your tears are not proof that I am far. They are often proof that I am close enough for you to let go. And now let me show you what your tears are doing in the spirit realm, because even when you feel like you are only crying, I am already moving. Now let me show you what is really happening when you cry in prayer, because you have been calling it too much, and I have been calling it right on time. You think you are unraveling, but I am untangling. You think you are breaking down, but I am breaking chains. Not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. Not the end, but the turning. Your tears are often the sign that heaven is working deeper than your surface-level words, reaching what you could not reach with willpower, touching what you kept tucked away just to get through the day. First, your tears are healing. They are not random water. They are release. There is grief you stored in your body because you had to stay functional. There is disappointment you swallowed because you did not want to look ungrateful. There is pain you packed away because you were tired of explaining it. And when you finally come into my presence where you are not judged, where you are not rushed, where you are not required to be impressive, what was trapped begins to move. The pressure you felt in your chest starts to loosen. The ache you carried in silence begins to breathe. Healing does not always feel like a celebration at first. Sometimes it feels like tears, because the wound is waking up under the hand of the healer. Second, your tears are surrender. They are the moment self-reliance reaches its limit, and your soul says, I cannot do this alone anymore. You have been trying to manage the outcome, trying to control the timeline, trying to hold yourself together so nobody worries, so nobody questions, so nobody sees the shaking in your faith. But when you cry before me, it is often because the performance is ending. The mask is slipping off, the burden is transferring, and I say to you, you don't have to perform strength in my presence. You can be real and still be protected. You can be honest and still be covered. You can be weak in the moment and still be safe in my hands. Third, your tears are intercession. There are groanings that are not just emotion, they are my spirit carrying prayer through you, pushing back darkness you cannot see, lifting weights you cannot name, praying with precision where you only feel heaviness. And while you are weeping, I am working. Even now, I am moving obstacles, rearranging timing, and quieting what has been tormenting you. Even now, I am shifting what is stuck, softening what is hard, and preparing what you have been waiting on. Even now, I am placing peace where panic used to sit, and authority where shame used to speak. So stop putting yourself on trial for being human in front of your Father. Stop calling sacred release embarrassing. Stop interpreting tears as distance when they are often the evidence of my nearness. But hear me closely. Beloved, there is an enemy who tries to weaponize your tears, to turn your tenderness into condemnation, to whisper that if you were strong, you would be dry-eyed. And we will confront that lie, because I will not allow the accuser to steal what I am healing. Beloved, the next battle is not over your circumstance, it is over your interpretation, because the accuser does not always come with obvious darkness. Sometimes he comes with a familiar thought that sounds like your own voice. He comes after you cry. He waits until your face is wet and your chest is tired, and then he whispers, if you were strong, you wouldn't cry. If you were mature, you would be over this. If God was near, you wouldn't feel this. And in that whisper, he is not trying to explain your emotions. He is trying to shame you out of my presence. He is trying to silence your prayer. He is trying to isolate you in the very moment I am drawing close. But listen to me. Condemnation is not my voice. I correct with love. I lead with peace. I convict to restore, but I never crush you with shame. The voice that calls you too much, the voice that labels you fragile, the voice that mocks you for trembling, the voice that turns your tears into a verdict, that voice is the accuser. And today, that lie ends. Today that cycle ends. I cancel it at the root, because I will not allow self-hatred to wear the mask of spirituality in your life. My word is law in the spirit realm. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And yes, that includes the weapon of self-contempt. That includes spiritual insecurity. That includes the weapon of replaying your worst moments until you feel unworthy to pray. That includes the weapon of comparing your process to someone else's composure. I cancel every assignment of heaviness, every cycle of overthinking, every midnight panic, every tightening in your chest that tells you you are unsafe, every false label that calls you too emotional, every memory the enemy uses as a leash, every shame script that tries to make you hide from the one who heals you. You are not fragile, you are faithful. You are not failing, you are fighting. You are not unstable, you are in surrender. You are not disqualified, you are being delivered. Those tears are not proof you are far from me. They are often proof you are close enough to stop pretending. So I break the agreement you made with that lie, even if you made it quietly, even if you made it years ago, even if you made it just to survive. I am not measuring you by dryness of eyes. I am measuring you by the fact that you still come to me. Now participate with me, beloved. Let your voice be small if it needs to be, but let it be real. Whisper this aloud right now. I am not ashamed of my tears. God is near to me. Say it again until your spirit believes what your feelings have been arguing. I am not ashamed of my tears. God is near to me. And as you speak, I am breaking the power of condemnation. I am lifting the fog of shame, and I am restoring you to confidence. You will pray again without apologizing. You will cry again without condemning yourself. And you will rise, not hardened, but healed, because the accuser's lie has been exposed, and my nearness will have the final word. Now, beloved, because the lie has been confronted, I will not leave you holding what that lie kept placing back into your hands. You have cried, you have prayed, you have tried to be strong, and then you have stood up and picked the weight back up again like it was your job to keep the world from falling apart. But listen to me, you don't have to carry today into tomorrow. You don't have to drag this fear into your next hour. You don't have to keep paying for peace with pressure. Take a deep breath right now. Slow your breathing. Let your heart slow down. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. And if you can, open your hands right where you are, palms up, not as a performance, but as a posture. Because surrender is not giving up. Surrender is transferring. It is taking what has been crushing you and placing it into my capable hands. You were never meant to carry what only I can cancel. So bring me what you've been carrying in secret. Bring me the family pressure, the need to be the strong one, the fixer, the one who holds everyone together while you quietly fall apart. Bring me the financial fear, the numbers, the bills, the uncertainty, the tightness you feel when you think about the future. Bring me the medical uncertainty, the results you're waiting on, the symptoms you don't know how to explain, the anxiety that spikes when your mind starts searching for worst-case scenarios. Bring me the loneliness, the empty space that makes you question your worth, the silence that feels like rejection. Bring me the regret, the replayed conversation, the decision you wish you could undo, the sentence you keep using to punish yourself. Bring me the secret grief, the loss you never fully processed, the disappointment you minimized, the sorrow you swallowed so you could stay functional. Give me what you cannot fix. Now breathe in, and as you breathe in, whisper in your spirit, peace. And as you breathe out, release this word, control. Breathe in, peace. Breathe out, control. Again, peace in, control out, because control has been exhausting you, and peace is your portion. Control has been tightening your chest, and my presence is loosening the grip. Control has been making you feel responsible for outcomes you cannot command, but I am the Lord over what you cannot manage. And hear me clearly, I am not asking you to pretend it doesn't matter. I am asking you to trust me with what matters most. Lay it down. The burden was never yours to hold. Put the names down. Put the timelines down. Put the need to understand everything down. Put the urge to fix everyone down. Put the shame down. Put the heaviness down. I can carry what you cannot. I can heal what you have been hiding. I can guide what you have been guessing. And as the burden leaves your hands, space opens space for my peace to settle. Space for my direction to rise, space for wisdom without panic, space for strength without striving. Even now, I am replacing weight with stillness. Even now, I am turning your inner noise into clarity. Even now, I am making room in you for the next instruction, the next step, the quiet breakthrough you could not hear while you were gripping so tightly. Stay here with me. You are not losing anything by surrendering. You are finally coming under the care of the one who never drops what you release. Now stay here with me a moment longer, beloved, because I want you to recognize the quiet proof of my nearness. You have been trained by disappointment to look for loud signs, instant outcomes, dramatic shifts you can point to and say, "There, now I can believe." But I am telling you the truth. I do not always announce my presence with thunder. Often, I confirm my presence with settling. Peace doesn't always shout, it settles. And sometimes the greatest miracle in the room is not that everything around you changed in a second, but that something within you stopped trembling. Your situation may look the same when you open your eyes. The calendar may still be waiting. The answer may still be forming. The door may not have swung open yet. But listen, your inner atmosphere is where I move first. Because if I can steady your spirit, you will not be destroyed by the weight. If I can quiet the storm in your mind, you will not interpret the delay as abandonment. Delay is not denial. Preparation is not punishment. I am not withholding to hurt you. I am arranging to hold you. I am building what you will need for what you have been praying for. And you will know I am near by the small, holy changes you almost overlooked. Your breathing gets deeper without you forcing it. Your shoulders drop. The bitterness that felt welded to your chest begins to soften, not because what happened was acceptable, but because I am healing what it did to you. You notice the panic spiral doesn't take you as far as it used to. The thought still tries to start the fire, but it cannot keep burning, because I am placing a wall of fire around your mind. You sleep not perfectly, not every night, but you sleep again, and it is a sign that your soul is learning safety in my presence. You desire to pray again, not as a duty, but as a refuge. You reach for me faster than you reach for worst-case scenarios. This is not nothing. This is the inward witness of my spirit, settling you like a gentle healing river, quiet, steady, cleansing, restoring. Even now, I am surrounding your home. Even now, I am standing watch over your doorways, your conversations, your dreams, your peace. Even now, I am teaching your heart to rest without needing every detail explained. Because my peace is not denial of reality, it is authority over it. My peace is not pretending, it is protection. And when peace settles, it is not the end of the story, it is the seal that I am in the story. So do not despise the quiet. Do not rush past the calm because you are still waiting on the visible. This settled peace is my nearness made tangible. This is me holding you while I move what you cannot move. And now, beloved, we speak out loud what heaven is establishing in you. We do not whisper agreement with fear anymore. We declare agreement with my word. Now, beloved, do not just feel my nearness, agree with it. Because fear has tried to train your mouth to speak defeat, and shame has tried to train your mind to interpret tears as failure. But today, that cycle ends. Your tears will not be used against you. Your tenderness will not be turned into a weapon in the enemy's hand. We will speak what is true until your spirit stops flinching. So say it with me out loud if you can, whispered if you must, but do not stay silent. Repeat after me. I break every chain of shame attached to my tears. I lift every burden of grief that has been sitting on my chest. I silence every voice of accusation that says I am weak, that says I am too much, that says I am alone. I cancel every assignment of condemnation after I pray. I refuse every lie that calls my surrender a failure. I am not being punished, I am being healed. I am not falling apart, I am being put back together. I am not distant, I am being drawn near. Say this, beloved, I am a child of God. I am covered, I am protected, I am heard, I am not forgotten, I am not overlooked, I am not abandoned in the night. My tears are not wasted. My groans are not empty. My prayers are not ignored. The Spirit of the living God intercedes for me, and heaven responds to what I cannot fully explain. The Lord is near to me, and I will not be ashamed of what healing looks like. And now declare what is moving even when your eyes cannot yet prove it. Even now, doors are opening. Even now, hearts are softening. Even now, provision is moving. Even now, healing is entering. Even now, clarity is rising. Even now, peace is settling. Even now, I am being strengthened from the inside. Even now, what was delayed is being arranged. Even now, what was stolen is being restored. Even now my testimony is being written. Beloved, participate with me. Type this as your declaration, as your agreement, as your altar in the comments. God is close to me, even in tears. Or type, my tears are turning into testimony. Do not type it as a habit, type it as a stand. Because when you agree with my word, you stop partnering with fear. Now let's pray, not as beggars trying to convince me to care, but as beloved children who are already heard. Stay with me. Bring your tears, bring your need, and watch how I turn what has been breaking you into what will bless you. Come close, beloved, and let your breathing slow down in my presence. You do not have to strive to be heard. You do not have to force the right words. You do not have to clean yourself up to come to me. I am here, and I am near. Your tears are welcome here. Your trembling is not a problem for me. Your unfinished sentences are not a barrier to me. I am the God who meets you in the middle of it. Holy Spirit, rise now with comfort and with power. Your word says in Romans 8:26 that when my child does not know what to pray, you help, you strengthen, you intercede with groanings too deep for words. So I ask you now, pray through them. Where they only have tears, form a prayer. Where they only have sighs, release heaven's language. Where they only have heaviness, carry it for them. Let divine clarity replace confusion. Let holy strength replace exhaustion. Let the inner man be strengthened right now, not tomorrow, not later, right now. And I speak Psalm 34:18 over you. I am near to the brokenhearted. I save the crushed in spirit. So I come close to every place you have been hiding. I come close to every memory that still stings. I come close to the part of you that feels embarrassed for needing help. I come close to the ache you cannot explain, and as I draw near, I drive out what has been tormenting you. I cancel every assignment of fear. I cancel every spirit of heaviness. I cancel every cycle of condemnation that attacks you after you pray. I silence every accusing voice in the night. I speak peace over your midnight hours. I speak rest over your nervous system. I speak protection over your dreams. You will not be hunted by thoughts. You will not be punished by panic. You are safe in my presence. And I declare Psalm 56:8 as your assurance. I have kept every tear. I have recorded every sorrow. Not one drop was wasted. So now, let those tears become healing in your heart, cleansing in your mind, and strength in your body. I touch every anxious thought, and I command it to loosen its grip. I touch every stressed place in your body, your chest, your stomach, your shoulders, and I release my peace like a gentle healing river. I touch every grief in your heart, and I lift the weight you have carried alone. I bless your home with my presence, every room, every doorway, every atmosphere. I bless your relationships with restoration, softened hearts, honest words, and wise boundaries. I bless your future with direction, clear steps, open doors, and divine timing. And I seal this moment with expectancy. What once felt impossible will become a testimony. You are not crying alone. You are not praying into silence. You are being healed, lifted, and reordered by my hand. Receive it now and say with me, Amen. Beloved, stay with me just a little longer, because I am sealing what I started in you. You came into this moment with private shame, confused by your own tears, wondering if the wetness on your face meant silence in heaven. But I have told you the truth. Your tears are not abandonment. They are often the sign that you have come close enough to be honest, close enough to surrender, close enough for my spirit to intercede where words cannot reach. What you thought was weakness, I have called warfare. What you thought was falling apart, I have called healing. What you thought was distance, I have revealed as nearness. And the peace you feel settling, even if it is quiet, even if it is new, even if it is gentle, is the proof that I am here. So now, I bless you, not with a temporary comfort, but with a covering. I speak peace over your sleep. I speak rest over your nervous system. I speak protection over your mind, over every anxious thought, every late night spiral, every accusing echo that tried to follow you after you prayed. I place courage in you for tomorrow, not the kind of courage that pretends nothing hurts, but the kind that rises with steady faith and says, God is with me, so I will not be afraid. And I renew your desire to pray without shame. You will not avoid me because you feel emotional. You will not hide because you feel tender. You will come to me quickly, freely, confidently, because you are safe with me. And when the tears come again, do not panic, and do not accuse yourself. Return to this place. Return to this message as a place of agreement. Let it play again when you cannot find the words. Let it remind you again when fear tries to rewrite the story. Come back until peace becomes your new normal, until your soul learns what your spirit already knows. You will not cry alone again. I will meet you. I will steady you. I will carry what you cannot. I will finish what I began. Now, as you go, carry this with you. This season will become your testimony. What felt like breaking will become birthing. What felt like silence will become proof. What felt like delay will become deliverance. And after you've received this, share it with someone who cries in secret while praying someone who thinks they're the only one. Subscribe for continued prayer coverings, because you are not meant to fight alone. Like this video as your simple amen of agreement, and comment your declaration. God is close to me, even in tears, or write your prayer request so others can stand with you in faith. I am closer than you think, and I am not leaving.